It's your boy Matty G reminding you right now, go ahead and take that popcorn on at the microwave, put that extra butter on it, throw some M&Ms in there to treat yourself, and get ready because Scott Larson is bringing the hashtag truth right now.
Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground because you never had the courage. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
L&L Fence Company, specializing in custom fencing from wood and aluminum to chain link. 9331 Albemarle Road in Charlotte, North Carolina. Give them a call today for your free estimate. 704-563-9544. L&L Fence Company, the king in custom fencing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hashtag Truth. Tonight we have the one, the only, Mr. PWU himself, Cole McAbee. But before we get to him, I have to make a public apology to Mr. Billy Simmons, who I was supposed to have on last night. A couple hours before the show, I was taking my blood pressure, and it was spiking really bad. So it was, me and my wife had a talk, and we decided that I shouldn't be on the show. So I do want to have him back. This guy is, well, let me just give you a few things. He's a 20-year vet. He owns a show called XWE out of Salina, Kansas, and he's the co-founder of the Kansas Wrestling Alliance. So that's a mouthful, and I really want to interview him. So Mr. Simmons, if you're out there, I apologize. I will be getting with you in the next couple of days to reschedule. And I'm really looking forward to meeting you. Mr. Cole McAbee, Pro Wrestling Union, sir. What's going on?
Not too much. I'm currently in the most quiet room in this house as of right now, which is in the bedroom. So got the wife and kids. They're currently in the living room. They're probably watching Coco Melon or something like that right now. But I'm right here with you for the, what is this? This is the fifth time, right? This is number 5, maybe?
I think you are the longest as far as number of times. I think you have just got ahead of Big Country. I think he's been on 4 times. So,
well, you need to start. You need to start a club like Saturday Night Live have. They have like the 5 Timers Club.
There you go. There you go.
So I guess I'm the first entry. So there you go.
I might do that. I might put that down there at the bottom of my screen. 5-time club and put your picture next to it. That'll be cool.
And Big Country has to be next in line then. He's got to be.
Of course. So what's going on at Pro Wrestling Union, sir? You showed me something that was on your lap. I want to start off with that because that looks really cool. You got to show everybody what is on your lap.
Okay, well, it's no secret that we have been advertising for August the 14th that we're going to have our next program, which is Gold Rush. 8 men are going to be biting for the chance to become the first ever Pro Wrestling Union Carolinas champion. And that's actually the championship belt that I've got right here. You can see the poster. They're looking nice.
We'll go back to the poster. I want to see the belt. The belt looks awesome.
And this right here is the championship belt.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful, sir. I love that.
And this championship, it was actually made by our friends at Pro-Am Belts. They're the same company that created the heavyweight title for us. Both incarnations. The first one that was the white strap, and then of course the one that you see now. So they always did quality work for us. So a big shout out to Pro-Am Belts for the excellent craftsmanship.
Without a doubt. So let's go back to the poster. Let's talk about this show, man. 8 guys vying for that title. Oh man, that's a great group. Tell us about the 8 guys that are going to be in that match.
All right, so as you can see in the poster, we have the Black Cat, Dion John, both members of Friendly Fire, the Great Dane of the Game, Bebop, and his tag team partner, Mr. Nice Guy, Jamal Hewins. We also have one of North Carolina's finest, Kay Holiday, On the other side, you see one of the relatively new people making his way in the Carolinas, Stacy Sykes. You have locally hated Chris Vallo, and you also have one of the most improved wrestlers in the Carolinas in Drew Hood, and getting himself squeaked in there thanks to his manager, G. Frederick Vanderford. You have the anomaly, Antonio Morgan. So those are your 8 men, and a lot of people are wondering about like the tournament setup. And I have to explain, it is not a tournament. Here's how it's going to work. Nobody knows who they're wrestling first. What we're going to do at the very beginning of the show, we're going to have all 8 names in a hat. We're going to draw one name out, and then we're going to draw another name out, and that's going to kick off your show. And we're going to have that go all the way down until you have your all 4 singles matches. The winners of each of those singles matches will meet in the main event in a 4-corner elimination match. The winner of that walks away with this championship. So it's almost like a lethal lottery type setup that ends in a 4-corner match.
Nice. Can I make a prediction?
You can make a prediction.
I could see Drew Hood being the champion right here. I'm just going to say it. That's my prediction. I see Drew Hood wearing the gold.
And that's a pretty good prediction. Like I said, he's probably one of the most improved wrestlers in the Carolinas. Like I remember back when I was still the general manager for Classic Pro Wrestling in Spartanburg. Him and Cam Jackson and Tommy Django, part of the 3 brothers, Cam being the leader of the group and everything like that. And Drew and Tommy were the tag team. But since then, all of them have branched out, gone in different directions. Cam's doing such a great job on his own. Tommy, he's actually become tag team partners with locally hated Chris Vallo. And then you got Drew Hood really embracing that megastar persona. And he's come a long way. And so it's going to be exciting to see him along with everybody else. So it's hard to say who I think's going to go. It's hard for me to say who I think is going to take it all the way because all 4 of these men, all 8 of these men, it could be any one of them. All of them bring something special to the table. So,
I'm not saying that any of the 8 couldn't win. I'm just saying if I had to make a prediction, if you put a gun to my head, my pick would be Drew Hood. Alexander Pope said, "What's up?" Go ahead.
Who are you going to get now, Scott? Who are you going to get now? Who are you going to get?
Right? Alexander Polk said, "What's up, Scott?" Jordan Payne of No Pain, No Gain Wrestling Podcast said, "Hey, guys, what's going on?" Here we go. Jake Jacobs says, "Where am I in this picture?"
Jay Jacobs is commenting on #truth. What else would Jake Jacobs be?
I think he said, "Why isn't he?" I think he meant, "Why isn't he in the match?"
Why isn't he in the match? I actually hear he's been doing a lot of things over at High Velocity Wrestling, and I've actually got some information about that as well. So, but we'll get to that soon, though.
So this will all come full circle, Jake. That's what he's trying to tell you. He's getting to you, man. He's getting to you. Oh, there we go. Good afternoon from Fallen, Nevada. There you go. What's going on, Sean? And Keith said Drew Hood has to be the favorite. That's what I thought. When I saw the 8 guys, I was like, yeah, my eyes immediately went to Drew Hood. It was like, yeah, Drew Hood. We could be wrong. You never know. And by the way, you mentioned a certain manager during that spill. Please tell me he does not know you're doing my show tonight and he does not know where your bedroom is. Please tell me that. Because the last time a manager found out, and I think it was him, as a matter of fact, he just bursted in and became part of the show.
It is. In fact, I don't think he's going to get past the German Shepherd that we have out in the front.
Good boy. Good boy. And I'm saying that about the German Shepherd. Good boy.
But yeah, so the G Frederick Vanderford, he he has two clients for Pro Wrestling Union. One of them is the blue chipper, Chase Emery, who's also going to be at the event. He's not actually part of the Gold Rush portion of
Right.
it. He's got a different match in line for that. But of course, like I said, the anomaly, Antonio Morgan, who made probably one of the biggest impact debuts out of anybody since we have came back strong since the pandemic regulations have kind of loosened up. You had Dion Johnson and Chase Emery in the main event of one of the shows that we did. It was the second night of Carnival Carnage. And then just
Yes.
out of nowhere, this big, impressive 240-pound monster of a man comes in and knocks Dion Johnson off his feet, helping Chase Emery get the big win in that main event. And still a newcomer and everything like that. But I mean, he's a monster. He's super strong. And a guy like that is very unpredictable in this tournament. So.
Right. And I just realized something. You said that the wrestlers aren't going to know who they're wrestling until they show up, and you guys are going to draw names before the matches, which means, let me put up the poster again. This just hit me. You mentioned there's a tag team in this, and they could be facing one another.
Exactly. It could be friend versus friend or foe versus foe. It can go either way. I mean, like even Dion Johnson, who's been sort of a mentor for Friendly Fire recently, he could be stepping in the ring with either one of them. Or, like I said, Dion Johnson and the Anomaly, they've got a history there. It could be those two right there at the first round. So.
And the aforementioned match that you were talking about with Chase Emery is down there toward the bottom there. You can see that. And there's also another champion who is going to be in action, and it looks like there's going to be a mystery opponent. Talk to us about that one.
Yep. Well, actually, I already know the identity of the mystery opponent.
Okay.
I do know that. He has actually reached out to us. As the new Pro Wrestling Union heavyweight champion, Landon Hell, he made a proclamation that he wanted to be a fighting champion, that he was going to go ahead and throw out an open challenge anywhere, anytime, any place. So we had this individual who's probably one of the most premier wrestling athletes in the Carolinas to reach out to us, and he said, anytime, any place. And we said, that's what he said. And he said, August 14th. And we're like, well, we already got something going on that day. And he goes, you said anytime, any place. So that's already been set up. So with that, he made the request that he would reveal himself in time, and so we agreed to that. So as of right now, Landon Hell is still in the dark about this, but at this point he honestly is not worried about the identity. He's just more focused on defending that championship.
I got you. And while we're talking, I am doing something that I should have done earlier, because I should have known we'd be talking about him. Give me 1 second. Of course, I got to plug this because it all comes in together. We're talking about the champion, and look at here, he will be on July 6th, #truth. And of course, right above it, it says, is he still going to be the champion on July 6th? So
well, as of right now, I believe he's in the clear. He was actually scheduled to have another championship bout, I believe, for WrestleForce for this month, but unfortunately, WrestleForce, they had to cancel their event due to weather conditions, which it happens for outdoor shows. So we'll see what happens this next month, because I know WrestleForce is going to be coming back, and they're going to be over there at Pollywogs over there in Columbia, South Carolina, which they have a fantastic show. So if you're over there in the area, I highly advise check them out. And if you're into the bar scene, they got drinks, they got food right over there at Pollywogs. I've tried some of the stuff over there. The last time I was there, they got some excellent food and everything like that. So come on by.
I switched over to show that and everything, and my gosh, man, this is blowing up. Outlaw is here. Now it's a show. Of course it is. Jordan Payne said Chase Emery has got my attention. He is awesome. Speaking of Chase Emery, Cole McAbee, me and the G have been calling and messaging you and the committee about what's been going on. We have not been getting answers. We are not happy with the state of Pro Wrestling Union. Ooh.
Okay, so let me go ahead and address this. He says that he's not been getting the answers. No, he's been getting the answers. He's just not getting the answers that he's wanting. So here's the deal. Chase, Antonio Morgan, and the G were involved in a 6-man tag with Friendly Fire and Deion Johnson at the Raybit Barber Memorial. That was our main event. At the end of that match, it was Chase Emery's team that picked up the loss. Now, even though it was the G that got pinned, the loss affects everybody. So that actually puts a damper into contendership.
Right.
Now, with that being said, Chase Emery has a huge opportunity because Chase Emery is a collegiate amateur wrestling champion, very decorated, one of the best here in the area. He's going to be stepping in the ring with a martial arts gold medalist in David Anthony.
Right.
Now, think about that. You got two champions, different styles getting in the ring, and that's a moneymaker.
Yes, without a doubt.
And I can almost guarantee whoever picks up a win between those two will definitely secure themselves a contendership spot in the future. But something else that the G and Chase has been informed of, Pro Wrestling Union does partnerships with other promotions, so that way we can also intertwine with other talents and bring them into our promotion. And that's actually good.
I love that. And we're going to be showing something like that soon tonight. Jake Jacobs says Landon wants a fight anywhere, anytime, any place. Noted.
We'll see. Look at there. Look at there. Jacobs.
Drew Hood said Landon Hale is a heck of a competitor, but when I win, spoiler, I'll be the top champion in Pro Wrestling Union.
See, there you go. And Scott, you were sitting there, and that was your prediction, and I can guarantee you, just based off of that comment, Drew's thinking the exact same thing. And I don't blame him, like I said. You know.
Keith Carter said, will Landon Hale know his opponent in time for his visit here with #truth?
That's actually a good question. Considering that we are going to be putting out the official poster in the middle of next month, since we'll have ourselves at least a month in advance to get everything advertised and put out there, you still got the challenger has still got himself a little bit of time to expose himself. And, you know, we'll see exactly how he's going to do that, whether it's just going to be just on a video or don't know if he might show up someplace. He might show up at Landon Hale's doorstep with a cameraman and be like, it's me. Be ready. You never know.
Right. I'm not laughing at you, sir. I'm laughing at a couple of comments. You don't have a fan in one guy that's on here. He said, what college fraternity did this dude sneak out of? And then he said, this dude is Daniel Bryan if you ordered him from Wish. Ronnie King.
Did you just say Rodney?
Ronnie King. Ronnie. I didn't say Rodney.
Oh, okay.
Brandon Ledford said, what's up, y'all? Chiming in, I think is what he meant to say, for a few minutes. Scott, I have a question for you. Any idea when the next HWA show will be? That will be coming up in the near future. I will be putting a post out myself about that, but we are here talking with Cole McAbee about Pro Wrestling Union and not #truth. So just to clear that up before anybody else decides to ask me a million questions.
All right, so you said we were talking about Cole McAbee, not #truth, but yet Cole McAbee is on #truth. which you have to talk about. Truth.
Well, I'm saying the shows that I'm springing off of hashtag truth. So there.
Yeah, gotcha.
There you go. Brew said the Appalachian Mafia is here. Okay. And he also said, bite me. These people
actually,
are crazy.
I say, pop that up again.
Wait, where it says bite me?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of weird stuff you're into, man, but I'm not down with that.
But he did say Drew Hood is a great talent. So there you go. That kind of makes up for it.
There you go. I don't think Drew's gonna bite you either, man.
Right? So when are we gonna find out who the competitor is going to be, who the mystery man is going to be? You said it's going to be put up soon. Do we have a date that we can look forward to, or are you just going to make us wait?
Once again, even though I know the identity of the individual, he requested that he would make himself known pace. So we're waiting on him.
So it's on his time. So we're waiting on him. I got you.
But I can promise you this: when you find out who it is, you're going to be very excited. Very excited.
You're going to force me to come to a pro wrestling union show, aren't you? That's what this is going to end up happening. Watch. Jake Jacobs says, to all the other seven individuals who will potentially be in the ring with Drew Hood, I warn you, watch for the low blow. Mr. Jake Jacobs, are you saying that Drew Hood cheats and does dastardly things like a low blow? Are you seriously saying that on hashtag truth? Just wondering.
I mean, referee, if they don't see it, it's technically not illegal.
That's spoken like a true heel.
Well, there's still that little part of me, Scott, that has never strayed away from that,
I got you. I like being the bad guy every once in a while too, but see, Brandon Lefford just came right out and said it. Drew is a cheater.
Oh my goodness. So we're gonna turn this into everybody hates on Drew and Cole. I got called a Daniel Bryan and a fraternity person.
Somebody who escaped from a college fraternity. You never know what you're going to get on hashtag truth, bro. You never know. So
yeah.
You spoke earlier of you're going to be doing something with another promotion. I'm going to do a quick commercial right here. And when we come out of that commercial, we're going to tell everybody what's going on. So we'll be right back after this with Cole McAbee of Pro Wrestling Union, and he's going to tell us about an upcoming collaboration. And if I can find it, there we go. We'll be right back.
This is 4 Foot Batman. And 4 Foot Batman knows the home of great collectibles at awesome prices. Retro toys and collectibles, movie memorabilia, Magic the Gathering cards, wrestling figures, Hot Wheels, the always popular Funko Pops, and much, much more. He knows the Hall of Collectibles is located in downtown Cherryville, North Carolina, at 400 East Main Street. Give them a call today, 980-989-5181. Retro Toys and Collectibles, the heavyweight champion in collecting.
Retro Toys and Collectibles right there in Cherryville. Let me tell you guys, if you're wrestling collectors, if you like collecting the figures, the rings, the Funko Pops, everything, they have a whole corner of that store is dedicated to nothing but wrestling. So great place to go.
I like the huge Batman. That's what I like. I'm a Batman person.
That's Ivan Righteous's Batman, my partner who does another podcast with me, and he loves that. It's 4 Foot Batman, and he takes that thing everywhere he goes almost. So I'll tell you what, people are really talking about Drew Hood, man. Jordan Payne said Drew Hood is an incredible wrestler, but I'm still going to boo him. Drew Hood responded by, "See, you're right, Brew. I'm honest. I'm super honest about how I attained success by any means necessary. What you see is what you get. As one of the fastest rising stars out of the Southeast, it'll be PWU's honor to have me as their first ever Carolinas champion. Excuse me. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night."
Well, there you go. You know, I would like to see if like anybody else from the Gold Rush is going to be commenting. You know, we heard from Drew.
Yeah, I
I
would
mean,
like to see all of them show up, man. That would be pretty cool. I haven't heard from some of these guys in a while. It'd be nice for them to show up. Outlaw said 4-foot Batman owes me child support. That's right. I'm the son of Batman. Get over it. Okay. I've heard crazier. Keith Carter said, "Be y'all, Drew Hood."
nice. See what you need. What you need to do now because of this, and maybe if Drew's listening to this still, you need to go ahead and set it up to have Drew Hood on the show next.
I would love to. I believe I've had him on the show once, but I would love to have him again. Yeah,
Go.
Drew, get a hold of me. If not, I'll get a hold of you right after the show. If you, like you said, if you're not watching anymore, which why wouldn't you be when all your fans are talking about you? Why wouldn't you be here still watching us?
Yeah.
So we have a collaboration coming up with Pro Wrestling Union. Let's just travel right into that because I'm pretty sure he's going to comment here soon. Tell us about that.
All right. So after we get through with the Gold Rush in August, September is another huge event that we're doing, and this one is near and dear to my heart. For on September 25th, making sure I got that right. Well, actually, you're skipping ahead, Scott.
Oh, I skipped ahead. We're gonna do this. Okay, never mind. There you go.
There we go. So on September the 25th, and it's going to be in Spartanburg, South Carolina at the Unifier Department. It's going to be collaborating with Classic Pro Wrestling, and it is the benefit for Buckshot, where all of the proceeds are going to be going for the medical expenses of Buck Carter, which Buck, who has been helping me out a lot since I started Pro Wrestling Union. He's been the man that's been supplying my ring, sound system, all that other stuff. I've been his general manager for CPW right before everything shut down with the pandemic and everything. But Buck's been there for me for a lot, and he was actually supposed to be helping us out with another collaboration that we did with Heroes to Legends Wrestling back in May. I was actually on my way from Lexington to Union that Friday, and my phone rings in my car, and I got the Bluetooth and everything set up, and it has Buck's number that pops up, and I go, "All right, great." So I'm gonna talk to Buck on my way because I knew that he was gonna be supplying the ring for this event that we were doing over in Sylvan, North Carolina, with Heroes to Legends.
Right.
So I answer the phone, and my thing with Buck is always the same. I always say, "Hey, Buck, how you doing, sir?" It's always whenever he calls me. So I answer the phone and give him the greeting, but there was a female on the other line, and she asked me, "Is this Cole?" And I'm like, "Well, that didn't sound like his wife, Miss Cindy." So it's like, "Yes, ma'am, it is." And she just said, "Hey, I was told to give you a call from Buck. He's being rushed to the hospital." And I could hear Buck in the background. And he was having a tough time getting words out and everything like that. And she was telling me kind of what the situation was at this moment. And I asked her, "Well, is there anything that I can do?" And she's asking Buck, Cole's asking if there's anything that he can do for you. And he's getting the words out, and he's just saying, "Just tell him to pray for me." So he ended up having a stroke that day, put him in the hospital for a little while. And it was really tough because, you know, Buck had actually called me again during that weekend. It was actually the day after the show. I was in the car with Luke Adams, who rode up with me to Silva. and Buck had called the phone as we were on our way to go get breakfast and all this stuff. And if you know anybody that's been through a stroke, it affects their speech sometimes. And it was just Buck, and he was just telling me that he was sorry. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, this man has nothing to apologize for.
Right.
My concern has never been about him having a ring for us, because over the last 2 years, I've gotten to know Buck better, and me and him have become really good friends.
Right.
So, but I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, that he's doing so much better. He's been going through the therapies. He's been getting his speech coming back, and I even spoke to him earlier today, and he sounds so much better. He's able to walk on his own. He's getting movement back in his hand where it had affected him and everything like that. He's still got a little ways to go, but he's making such great progress.
Right.
But with the hospital,
I have to tell a little story about Buck myself. Actually, I've got two short stories. The first one was the first time I had ever heard of Buckshot was I was speaking with David Cody, our good friend David Cody, and he mentioned this guy named Buckshot. And I'm like, who is that? He's like, oh, you have no idea? I'm like, no, you don't. Oh, you have got to go to Facebook and type these words in and watch this show. And it was, of course, I'm going to show it just to honor him. Bath Time with Buck. And my gosh, dude, I never laughed so hard in my life. This man sat in a bubble bath with a rubber ducky around him and a ton of rubber duckies around his bathtub talking about professional wrestling. And it was the best 45 minutes I've ever spent in my life. And I never missed a show after that until he quit running it. I mean, every time they said he had a show, I was there. It was great. And the second story I have about him, and I'm glad to hear he's doing a lot better. The second story I have is I did go to a CPW show there at the Unit Fire Department. Me and my wife and my daughter were sitting there waiting for the show to start, and Buck was doing some business there, making sure things were, right there in the arena. So he was coming in and out one of the side doors where there was this little young lady. She had to be like 4 or 5 years old. And every time he'd poke his head out the door and call a wrestler or whoever he needed, to talk to over to the little room, she would go, "That's my grandpa. He's the greatest wrestler of all time. He's awesome. He's the best wrestler in this building." And I'm like, awesome. Well, the show starts. And Buck has a partner, and they're bad guys, and they come to the ring to their music, and all of a sudden she starts yelling to the top of her lungs, "You suck! You're horrible! I hate you!" And I'm just looking over like, wait a minute! 5 minutes ago he was the greatest thing on earth, and now it was just amazing. It was a fun time, and I had a blast at CPW every time I went. As a matter of fact, I always say that the best triple threat tag team match I've ever seen happened in that building, and I'll say it to my dying day. But yeah, he is something. I was about to say he is something, and I enjoyed talking to him, and I think I've interviewed him a couple of times, and he's a fun guy to be around, man. And I wish him well, and my family's going to be praying for him, man, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
I had to get all that out.
Yeah. So with the show, like I said, the money and everything like that, that's going to go towards the medical expenses and everything like that, because with the hospital stay, the therapy that he's going through, and he was also having to buy this thickener for liquids just so that way he can drink stuff, and I know for a fact that this stuff is not cheap, so stuff like that. So and I won't be able to actually put out there what all we've got together just yet. I can name just some people that we will have on hand. We will have Soul Patrol. They will be there. The Pro Wrestling Union tag team champions, Sigmund and Elliot Russell, the Heat Seekers, they will be part of the event as well.
Nice.
I even believe Josh Powers, he's going to be part of the event as well. He reached out to me, said that he would love to be part of the benefit show, and we got that situated with him as well. So we've got some good people that are coming in for it. So definitely come in for a great show and for a great cause as well. And of course, Buck and his family, they will be there and everything like that. Because before we did any of this, I made sure. There you go. Love you, Buck.
He is chimed in. Thank you so much, Buck. We love you, man.
But I made sure, and I talked to him about this first, and I just approached him. I just asked him. I said, "What would you think if we did a benefit show for you?" Because I didn't want to just be like, just do something just out of the random or anything like that. Because, and in cases like that, some people, they may not want to have something like that. But I wanted to go ahead and ask his permission first, and But he's trusted me with it and everything like that, and I feel absolutely honored to be doing this for him. So
let me put it up there one more time. September 25th. There it is. Actually going to go to September. There we go. Looking on my calendar here. September. Well, I'm in October. That ain't good. Let's try September. There we go. Yes. All right. I do have it on my schedule. I hope I am still going. I don't think there's anything that's going to stop me. I am so going to be there. I want to be there to support Buck and definitely going to show up with hashtag truth in tow and hopefully do some interviews and things and get this out there and help them out as much as I can. So Buck, hashtag truth will be there, sir. Without a doubt.
There we go. All right. Now, since you mentioned October, if you get you're a little blurry.
There we go.
There we go. Hey, there we go. Magic of a studio adjusting on my end. There we go. So you kind of put it up there, and this kind of comes full circle back to even Jay Jacobs and stuff like that as well. You're welcome, Buck.
Cole, I wasn't aware of the situation. If you need anything for that day, you know my number. Hashtag for Buck. There you go. I would love to see Jake out there. Yes.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. And Jake, we're actually about to be mentioning you now because another collaboration, and this is going to be in.
All right, now I can do this.
So drum roll.
All right, here we go. Now it's not going to work, right? There it is.
Yeah, there you go. So here we go. So on October the 2nd in Sylva, North Carolina at the Jackson County Rescue Squad. This is actually a huge joint collaboration that's done with Heroes to Legends Wrestling, which what they primarily do is shows for benefits, fundraisers. They do them every so often. Associated with that, besides Pro Wrestling Union, High Velocity Wrestling out of North Carolina is getting part of this for Shop with a Cop 2021. Basically, what this is, the proceeds go towards the Shop with a Cop program. What they do is they have the cops that go out there with the kids for like the holidays. They buy these Christmas gifts for kids that don't they have families that don't have the funds for picking up for Christmas and things like that. So this is just a way for having extra help for Santa Claus for those kids out there in the area of Jackson County. So
that's awesome. That is totally cool. I love that. I love that. And what I love even more is wrestling shows collaborating. That's what I love to see. That brings a tear to my eye because I've been screaming that from the top of my lungs for 5 years now on my show, and I see a lot of you guys are finally starting to do it, and I'm not saying it was because of me. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying I'm happy to see it because the fans love that. The fans love to see, the champion from this place fight a champion from that place, even if it's not for the titles, just to see it, because you might not get to see it anywhere else. So that's really cool. And with all this, going, all these funds going to people that need it, like Buck, he's given us such great entertainment over the years that, I almost feel like I owe it to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't, but he's a great man, and I'm more than willing to help him out in any way I can. And of course, the police out there, without them, we're not safe. So if we can help them and their kids, that's beautiful.
Yeah. But
Woo!
that's honestly when with the name Pro Wrestling Union, I know a lot of people think that the union was because the shows have been in Union, South Carolina, which, Scott, that's not true specifically because the show was named Pro Wrestling Union when we were still out in the Batesburg, Leesville area. The
Yes.
name Union was actually because we wanted to unite communities. We wanted to unite organizations with wrestling shows. That also meant partnering up with other wrestling shows. We've done this with CPW. I've done this with H2L. H2L is turning around and doing this with us, and we are also getting HVW, who has been really picking up steam again since getting back running shows. They had a tremendous show not too long ago where they crowned a new high velocity wrestling champion, but they had the main event where they had the girls crowning the first ever women's champion for the company, and apparently tore the roof off. So,
Yes.
so going off of that, as long as Landon Hale, he is scheduled for that, and as long as he is still the heavyweight champion, he will be defending that championship. And there's some speculation.
Of course, those 4 big words always at the bottom of the poster that linger down there. Card subject to change. Fans hate those 4 words, but of course, things happen. And hopefully he'll be there. I'll knock on wood too, because we really want to see him there.
Yeah, so he's scheduled no matter what. But on top of that, the heavyweight title will be defended on the show. But speaking of heavyweight titles, and Jake, paying attention, and High Velocity Wrestling has already put the statement out, but I want to go ahead and just reaffirm it. On that show on October the 2nd, the reigning HVW heavyweight champion Crucifix will be defending that championship against Mr. Jake Jacobs. And that's going to be on October the 2nd.
Oh my. You have just made my daughter's day by saying that. I'm just going to let you know. My daughter is the world's largest Jake Jacobs fan. So yeah, she just came running. Look, I'm not even kidding. She's right here. Jake Jacobs will be going after a championship, and I will explain it to you after the show.
Yeah.
She's excited. She's ready to go.
And the thing is, I can't take full credit to that. That's High Velocity Wrestling right there. They're just going to put that show, or they're going to put that together for this big event that we're doing for October 2nd over there in Sylvan, North Carolina at the Jackson County Rescue Squad. And also, if you noticed on the poster, you happen to see a female on there. And if you don't know who she is, you better watch out, because that is the daughter of the late, great Terry Bam Bam Gordy. It is the Bad Street Beauty. Miranda Gordy will be part of this event.
Nice.
And of course, WCW alumni, the Lodi Monster himself, the sign guy, Lodi, he's going to be part of the event. So it's already shaping up to be a tremendous card, without even so much as putting out the first match, other than the High Velocity Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, which between Crucifix and Jay Jacobs, which I'm sure is going to be a barn burner.
Keith Carter said, "Get him, Jake Jacobs." Ron Emerson said, "Jake Jacobs is a class act." Brandon Ledford said, "Jake Jacobs fan club." He also said he's a proud member of it. And Jake Jacobs said, "I let it slip once. I won't allow it to happen again." And Keith Carter said, "Miranda Gordy." There you go.
There you go.
That is a lot of things going on, man. You have been a busy guy over the last couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, and it's been great trying to get everything put together from our own separate events to these collaborations, the benefit shows, the fundraisers, working with these other companies like Heroes of Legends and High Velocity Wrestling has been tremendous. And like I said, WrestleForce was going to permit a championship match for the show that was supposed to happen. And you know, Bob, he does such a great thing over there here in Columbia as well. So it's really just an honor for me to be able to get to do these things with other people and do something great. And I feel like what we have got set up for August for this bad boy right here, which I'll show you again.
Oh. And as you're showing that, right after you show that, I'll go ahead and cue the poster.
Yep. So that's once again, that's going to be August the 14th. It is being presented by Little Bit Photography. Erica Sousa, the photographer for that. And it's actually going to be in a different location. We've been used to doing our events over there at the fairgrounds in Union. We're actually going to move it to the Union County Recreation Center over there off of Thomas Street in Union. Because as hot as it's going to be in the Carolinas, and Scott, you know it gets hot here.
Yes.
We need to have a place that was going to have an AC to cool it off just a little bit. So you got 8 men going after the Carolinas championship. You got Landon Hell defending the title against a premier wrestling athlete that I'm pretty sure is going to give the wrestling fans of the Carolinas an experience they will never forget. And of course, Chase Emery, the blue chipper, amateur wrestling champion versus the martial arts gold medalist, and David Anthony, who really impressed in his debut as well for Pro Wrestling Union. And then, of course, September. Let me know if I'm going too fast, Scott.
There you go. There you go. I'm just hitting the wrong buttons. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good, sir. And, of course, September the 25th, over at the Unifier Department in Spartanburg, South Carolina, we got the benefit for Buckshot, and once again, the proceeds will go towards the medical expenses for Buck Carter. Collaboration with Classic Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Union. Like I said, we already got Soul Patrol, we got the Heat Seekers, Josh Powers. Those are just some of the names that are going to be on the show. Of course, we'll have a full card posted of that soon. And then last,
Jake Jacobs, get a hold of him, Jake Jacobs. Just saying. Go ahead.
and lastly, Heroes of the Legends Wrestling with association with Pro Wrestling Union and High Velocity Wrestling presenting Shop with a Cop 2021. It's going to be at the Jackson County Rescue Squad over there in Sylva, North Carolina. Beautiful place if you never visited. Like I said, you got people like the Bad Street Beauty, Miranda Gordy. She's going to be on hand. You got the Lodi Monster, Lodi. Also on that poster, one of the best wrestlers to come out of Texas, Bam Bam Malone, returning to H2L. And of course, like I already mentioned, and High Velocity Wrestling has already put the information out, heavyweight championship match where you have Crucifix defending the title against the superior Jake Jacobs. So 3 months of wrestling shows with Pro Wrestling Union attached to it, and I couldn't be more excited.
We're all excited about it, man. That is a lot of great wrestling, and I love it every time you come on Hashtag Truth, because you always do this. You always have 2 or 3 shows. It's not just one show, and that's it. I love the collaborations that you're doing, and of course, Pro Wrestling Union. I've always been a fan ever since I first met you. I've said it to you before. I'll say it to you live on my show. I haven't had the chance to get down to southern South Carolina and see your shows yet, but I'm telling you, you're putting together such great shows, and they're getting better and better and better to the point where I'm gonna have to make the trip.
You're gonna have to make the trip, and I think if you can't make it out in August, you have no excuses not to be there for September.
Oh, I will be there for September. I promise you. I promise everybody right here. September 25th, I will be at the Unifier Department.
But I can almost guarantee you this: if your daughter is nearby, she's also going to tell you October the 2nd, Daddy, we're gonna make a trip to Sylva, North Carolina. I'm gonna see Jake Jacobs get in the ring. I want to see him challenge for that HVW heavyweight title. So,
Oh, she's not going to say challenge. She's going to watch him win. That's what she's going to say.
all right. You
She's-
know what? I'm
She's
sorry.
the number one fan. I will say that if you saw what her walls in her room look like, I mean, she owns every piece of merchandise that man has ever sold. So, yes,
So-
she is his number one fan without a doubt.
She's not the Harry Styles boy band type person. Even
no.
though Jay Jacobs kind of got that boy bandish type hair, you know.
No, you go into my daughter's room. She is not the girly girl with the the pink and all that. No, wrestling pictures all over the place, signed wrestling posters and all that. No, she's a tomboy and a half who loves professional wrestling. So, and Jake Jacobs is her favorite amongst a few others, but Jake Jacobs is number one on that list. Always has been. So,
All right.
without a doubt. So if you ever want to get somebody to say, "Hey, Dad, come on, let's go to Pro Wrestling Union," all you got to do is put Jake Jacobs on the show. She will definitely beg me to go down there. I can guarantee you that 100%.
All right. I'll have to remember that.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of people. Ron Emery said, Scott Larson, if you need a way to the benefit of Buckshot, I got you covered. No, bro, we got that one. It's in our backyard. We got that one. Support Union Pro Wrestling. Ben Wright. Never wrong, always right. Ben Wright. Fun fact for everybody. This was my very first T-shirt for wrestling that I ever bought. This guy right here.
Ben Wright.
That's
There you
right. Pro Wrestling Union is worth the trip, without a doubt. Jake Jacobs, thank you, Destiny. And shots fired from Cole. I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna do one better, Jake. You're welcome.
Oh,
There you go.
I love it. Hashtag you're welcome. So Cole, let me there's a part of my show where I always ask everybody I interview to tell everybody how they can get a hold of you. If they're a wrestler out there and they want to get a hold of you as the promoter of Pro Wrestling Union, want to be on the show, how would they get a hold of you?
All right, so there's a couple of ways to do this. One, of course, Facebook, and I will admit that my Facebook Messenger has been blown up more than ever. So if you send me a message and I don't answer immediately, please do not take offense to this. Please do not assume that I am avoiding you like the plague. That is not the case. I've actually had a couple of guys who sent me messages. I did not get back to them for like a week to close to 2 weeks, because the way I try to operate on things is I always start with whatever came in first and work my way back up. It's never what's ever at the top, because it's like, well, technically somebody was here before you got to me. Please wait in line, please be patient, and I appreciate your patience. You could also get in contact with us via email. That's prowrestlingunion@gmail.com. And I'm a little iffy giving my number out over the line and everything like that. But if you ever need my number and stuff like that, I do give that out to people once I get to know them a little bit. And I feel free doing stuff like that for them.
I'm the same way. If I give somebody my number, I hope they ask permission before I give it out, because I will be very upset.
Here's the thing about that, and I'll throw it out there. For anybody that just knows me as the wrestling guy, as you call me, Mr. Pro Wrestling Union and all this other stuff, my legitimate job is that I work for 911 in the town that I live here in Lexington County, South Carolina.
Nice.
So I am so used to phones ringing all the time, to the point that I don't even like to hear the phone ring when I get home. So,
I got to ask this. Now there's a burning question. Have you ever woke up in the middle of the night with somebody calling you and accidentally answered as the 911 operator?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I know it's not funny to you, but to me, that would be hilarious. I'm sorry, but
and something else, and I'm just kind of putting this out there, and this is probably revealing a little bit too much about how the job goes, and it's kind of a serious thing.
oh, it is.
Whenever
I wasn't laughing about being a 911 operator.
no,
That
no,
is
no,
that is
no,
awesome.
I know, I know
I
that, I know that.
just see you, waking up, not being full, and just grab it 911. What's your emergency?
But sometimes when a phone rings and I'm not even thinking about it, I'll automatically get like on my defenses because you never know what's going to be on the other end of that phone line.
Right.
Uh, like for example, like on my own personal line, I thought for a moment I got a call from Buck Carter, and I'm like thinking I'm gonna get to talk to my friend Buck. Hey Buck, how you doing today, sir?
Right.
And here
That
was
will,
an emergency.
that will humble you in a heartbeat, won't it? I can imagine that humbled you in a heartbeat.
Well, it immediately turned on senses and everything like that because even before it was revealed the situation, like I said, I work in the field. I kind of caught where this was kind of going just based off of the way he was trying to tell. Because he was with a family member. They were actually, I believe he told me he was at a bank. He was making a stop there before him and his wife were supposed to be leaving from his home to travel up to Silva because they were gonna get to that area the night before, spend the night, and deliver the ring for the Heroes the Legends show. So, and thank you, Keith. So for that, you know, for that, it was just one of those things. It was not expected, but the moment that it happened, I was able to kind of tune in on certain things. So,
Right.
uh, but once again, we're glad that he's here. We're glad.
I'm so glad to hear that he's doing better. He's walking, he's talking a little better, and I can't wait to see him Saturday, September 25th. It's definitely on my date book. It's on my calendar. No matter what show is going on, I don't care. I will be at the Unifier Department that day. I'm going to make sure. If I have to walk, I'll be there. I'm that serious.
Well, I think Ron Emerson said you won't walk. He'll make sure you get a ride. So
I got you. But I'm just saying, I'm that determined to be there. Buck has done a lot for the business. There was a lot of wrestlers that came into CPW and a lot of history there. A lot of history in Spartanburg with CPW and the wrestlers that came through there and hopefully are still going to be going through there. I just can't wait. My screen went out. Okay. Well, that was weird.
I think that was your cue. That's it.
Right.
Like, wrap it up.
Right. I think so. My whole computer just flashed off and then flashed back on. It was like, that was the weirdest thing. Okay. Without a doubt.
So.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put that up there, Brandon, but
Oh, what was it that?
Talk about 911, and I'm not going to do that. That's not.
No. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Oh no. He said this would be wrong to do. 911. What is your emergency? Yes, is Cole McAbee there? I have some wrestling questions. Not good.
Oh, please don't do that. Please don't do that.
That's why I said not good.
because I'm gonna be honest with you. If you got me, and I'm pretty customer service oriented.
Right.
I'm one of those people that's like, one of those people that like, sir, ma'am, if this is not an emergency situation, let me give you a different number to dial, and give them that and just be on my way. If it'd be anybody else, depending on how bad the day is going, they'd probably be like, excuse me, sir, what is wrong with you?
Right.
Leave this line open for the people that really need it.
Ron said it sounds like a power supply issue. It better not be a power supply issue. This computer is less than 6 months old. I will be very upset if it's a power supply issue. But thank you, Ron. I will check into that. Keith said, thank you guys for your time. Cole and Scott, love you, man. Buck Carter, thank you, Scott and Cole. Again, love you too. I just can't wait till the 25th. I can't wait for all three shows. I'm going to flash them up real quick. And you do your thing, and then we'll take it home.
All right, so once again, the big announcer voice, Cole McAbee here with Pro Wrestling Union. The three big events that we got coming up. First, on August 14th, we're going to have the Gold Rush over in Union, South Carolina at the Union Recreation Center. 8 men, 1 goal, and that is the Carolinas Championship title. Also, we have on September the 25th at the Unit of the Fire Department and Spartanburg, South Carolina, Classic Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Union proudly present the Benefit for Buckshot, where all the proceeds will go towards the medical expenses for one Buckshot Carter. And then finally, on October the 2nd, Heroes to Legends Wrestling, associated with Pro Wrestling Union and High Velocity Wrestling, as we all present Shop with a Cop 2021, where all the proceeds would go towards the Jackson County Shop with a Cop program. We got championship matches, we got big time matches, we got the daughter of a legend. It's going to be exciting. We want to see you at these events, and that's going to be in Silva, North Carolina. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. Scott Larson, you are the greatest ever. I expect my five-timers club pin in the mail soon.
Yes.
With the
we will work on that, and I will definitely. I'm gonna put something at the bottom of my background from now on. I am gonna start that club, the 5-time club, and you are gonna be the first one on there. So definitely
the five time.
If you do the spinneroonie, brother, you're just gonna see me mark out.
If you see me do the spinneroonie, I'm gonna need you to call 911 for me, because something's gonna come out of place.
There you go.
I'm not a spring chicken anymore.
So we're gonna leave it like that. I don't want to see you break anything, sir. I really don't. 3 great shows coming up, one right after the other, month after month after month of great Pro Wrestling Union action, and you don't want to miss any of it. And that is the hashtag truth. We'll see you